Hello again. We're at Becoming Enlightened Together. I just posted a room reading for today, Tuesday the 28th. I'm going to go ahead and do a tarot reading for today too. So we're going to go ahead and look at the energies, all in all. Now, I admit that when I pulled this particular spread, I pulled it for me specifically regarding a very specific question. But I also left it open-ended for the collective as well. So this is for whoever it is that it resonates with, and it may not resonate with all of you out there, of course. Now, I often hear other readers say things like that, and I never appreciate that, because it kind of takes away from what it is, in my opinion, that they're there to do, in terms of being intuitive, psychic, and things of that nature. But in this particular case, since I asked a specific question or questions and regarding a very specific topic, this one deals with relationships in general, what is coming our way. Okay, so, and I was kind of blown away by the energy that came out. I got 4 Major Arcana out of 9 cards. So that's almost 50%, which is really very, very low statistical odds for that to happen, and it's happening quite a bit with these readings that I'm doing. And I do a lot more rune readings than I do tarot readings, but at least for the collective. It just takes longer and everything else than a rune reading. But anyways, with that being said, what I'm seeing here with that the Major Arcana that we've gotten, they're all very positive. Well, we got the Tower, that's one of them, and that's not entirely bad, but it's not entirely good either. It does mean the end of a cycle, the end of something, something coming to an end, which, being that we're right at the precipice of the new year, it makes absolute total sense. So this reading is for what's going to happen as we enter into the new year for those of you who are looking for love, or that you know that love is already on its way, or that perhaps you are already very deeply involved in a loving relationship and you want more answers in terms of either how to spice it up, make it better, or perhaps what may be unsaid that's going on in the heart of your significant other. Okay, so we'll just see what unfolds and how that all comes out. But as I look at these cards, I'm seeing we got 3 of the 4 tens, along with 4 Major Arcana in this reading. So, it looks, at least at first glance and what I feel, it's positive, but it has also the earmarks of being open-ended. It could go however the collective themselves decide for this to turn out. So in other words, love is coming. Love is already here. The heart of whoever it is or whatever it is that you're looking for is already yours. But, depending on the circumstances and the situation individually for the collective, that may be something you either accept or decline, depending on the situation. All right. So what is the heart of this particular reading? Well, it's the 10 of Cups of all cards. Now, the 10 of Cups, it talks about, attaining happiness. It talks about fulfillment and joy, family love, familia. It talks about luck and stability, health, joy, peace, happiness, good fortune. It talks about delight and serenity, harmony. Talks about support, bonding, basically anything and everything that you can possibly want. That if you're a woman and you're looking for that husband, the white picket fence kind of a scenario, for lack of another way of explaining what I'm getting at here, that's what this card represents. Okay. Now at the bottom of the deck, for the overall summation of this energy, what we end up having is the 3 of Wands. Now, anytime you see wands are basically, fire. So passion, moving forward, momentum, you know, things of that nature. Now, in this particular case, it talks about looking ahead or towards new opportunities. It talks about freedom, traveling, enjoying your success and prosperity, good outcomes. Somebody who's a leader, um, basically going on quests and expanding your horizons. Somebody who might be a visionary, um, you know, assuming greater responsibilities. Somebody who sets the example. Okay, so you know, that's basically what this is talking about. So this is you, collective. Okay. Now, you also, and you can flip, you know, the script, if you will. This could also be a fire sign that's coming your way. Okay, it can go either way. If you are a fire sign or somebody within fiery energy, it doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. Although it is somebody who embodies that particular, you know, overall, you know, fiery nature and all the attributes, characteristics, and traits that usually are associated with those three signs. Okay, so that's what we're looking at in terms of the overall embodiment of this particular reading. Now, as we look into the unconscious realm, let me move some things around here. I got my runes all over the place. I just did that rune reading and I don't want to lose them, so I'm going to put those over here. Okay. So we're going to be looking at first off the spiritual plane, the earthly plane, and then the subconscious plane. Then I'll do past, present, future, and then I'm going to look at basically other possible realities or questions that pertain to this particular reading that form a diamond within the, you know, the 6 remaining pieces of information that I have here. Okay. Now, in the spiritual plane, I have first off the King of Wands. Again, that fiery nature. Okay, so this is no longer, you know, a page or somebody young. This is somebody who's already a leader, somebody who's good at manifesting, somebody who has some form of social dominance, somebody who's open-minded, resilient, creative, inspirational, can be very charismatic, forceful, bold, original, confident, dominant, and assertive. So this is the energy that this person, either you or the person coming your way, embodies. And we have that echoed yet again with yet another fiery card. And this one is the Strength card, Leo card. Now this talks about inner strength and success, courage, self-improvement, willpower, love, confidence, endurance, somebody who's gallant, kind, empathetic, and accepting. Okay, so some very, very positive energies, and these are the things that happen first off in the spiritual plane, and then they manifest in the earthly plane. As above, so below, right? And this is echoed further. It's amazing, amazing freaking line of energy is the 10 of Pentacles. So anything and everything that you could want from a materialistic standpoint is already yours in the spiritual plane. This talks about all of your hard work being rewarded, having a sense of stability, success, having basically community and family, affluence, basically abundance, being secure, you know, solid foundation, that kind of a thing, a strong family and things of that nature. So again, if these are the things that you've been wanting, praying for, trying to manifest, they are already yours, at least in the spiritual plane. Soon they will be in the physical plane. And we again see that echoed here in the earthly line, which is the next line in terms of our information in this 9-card spread. And it starts out with the brightest card in the deck, the Sun card, Major Arcana. And this too is a Leo card. So this spread is all about fire. Lots and lots of Leo and Sagittarius energy here. Okay, now this one talks about everything going well, very positive, successful, healthy, fun, enlightened, good fortune being yours. Once again, greatness, vitality, health, truth and clarity, brilliance, being the center of attention, being very enthusiastic, somebody who walks in integrity. So we're already starting to see that in our present. Now remember now, 2029 2025 equals the number 9 numerologically, which is the end of a cycle, which means that this new year that's coming in starts the beginning of a new cycle, which is 2026. 2026 numerologically adds up to 10. 2 plus 2 plus 6, 10, which is like the number 1 numerologically. You always break it down to what, the two numbers add up to, if you will. So 1 plus 0 is 1. And that's the beginning of a cycle. And that's what 2026 actually is. It's the beginning of a new cycle. And we see that echoed again with the 10 of Cups. Anything emotionally that you could want, the happy family, the happy relationship, the dog and the cat who just adores you, a great job where everybody loves you, whatever the case may be, whatever your ideal of, emotional security and desire, that's what this card represents, okay? So blessings and delight are yours. That's what's coming your way. Now, this may make some of you very, very, insecure. Maybe you're not used to this kind of thing, or maybe somebody is really going out of their way to try to keep this from happening for you. Because we see the ultimate, once again, another 10, and this is the only negative one that we got. This is the 10 of Swords, and as you can see, those swords are in the back of you, collective. Now, it could also be in the back of the person coming your way. It's impossible to say. It'd be different for each of you, so however it resonates. But this talks, basically about being deceived, being backstabbed, somebody who is either gossiping against you or your loved one, the one that's coming your way, somebody who's experiencing a lot of failure, exhaustion, somebody who's being victimized, martyred, or feels martyred, somebody who's basically suffering and feeling powerlessness, being attacked on every angle, somebody who's also in their own levels of self-pity. So whether that's you or the person coming your way, or perhaps it could represent also, in this regard, somebody that has this desire to produce in your life. Again, we still have those who are coming to a close in the karmic plane of existence in this reality too, and they're also coming to the end of a cycle. So they're going with their last-ditch effort, the Hail Mary kind of a thing, to try to, stop our forward momentum, our progress. So it could mean that as well. In fact, I'm seeing a little bit of both of those things echoed here. So what it's worth. Now, on the subconscious plane, we start off with the Hangman. Now, the Hangman can be somebody who's unhappy, somebody feels trapped, somebody who's basically self-sacrificing, somebody who's dissatisfied with their current conditions, somebody who feels restrained, somebody needs to let go, somebody who's emotional, somebody who is in a state of acceptance because they need to accept their situation, surrender to it, learn from it, change. That's what it's about. It's about, you can look at it one of two ways. The situation that you're currently in, whether it's you, whether it's your future love coming your way, or perhaps the karmics who are trying to raise hell in this last, their death throes, so to speak. They need to accept, the reality of the situation. They're still trying to fight against it. They don't want their karma, of course. It's none of us like to be punished or disciplined. Perhaps is important in our journey and this learning process is that actually is for each of us. Some people just are not mature enough to accept it for what it is. And they take it very, very personally, and it's hard not to. It is happening to you, and it does feel personal, of course, but it's for your own good. It's for the betterment, not only of you individually, but for the collective as a whole. As you grow, the collective around you also grows. There is that mirroring effect that takes place, you know. All right. Now, also in the subconscious realm, we have the Two of Wands, another fire card, okay? This one is Aries. This one talks about a new path, traveling again, some possible choices and new opportunities, desire for change, or arousal, personal power, boldness, influence, you know, risk-taking, things of that nature. Somebody speaks their own mind. So, you know, Two of Wands for the subconscious is basically somebody who's battling within themselves of which way to go. You know, that's what we're seeing with the Hangman. Do I accept this? Do I move forward? And it looks like somebody is making the decision to do so, and that's why we have the Tower, another major arcana in the subconscious, right? Which is where chaos and sudden changes occur in our life. A sense of loss and pain, maybe feeling confused, disaster perhaps. Again, releasing the downfall of something or the upheaval of something, being humbled. This too is, at least in part, a fire card. You know, that of Aries once again, but it's also a Scorpio card, and that's my rising sign, Scorpio. So I have fire in my moon and my sun, and I have water in my rising, or I should say my ascending, rising. So the Tower. Alright, so in the spiritual and earthly planes we see success, but we also see what looks like either somebody still working their hardest to you know, foil that. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work. You might as well just give up already. Start, you know, doing something about your own journey. Stop worrying about us so much. We want the best for you, you know, and you want the absolute worst for us, though we've done you no harm. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. You have to realize that you're working for the dark side and you're being taken over by darker energies, or you're certainly giving in to your shadow without any restraint whatsoever, and it's going to lead to your absolute destruction if you don't, you know, grow up. Grow up. That's what this is about, okay? And we're seeing that also echoed even in our own thoughts, whether it's thoughts of the karmic or the thoughts of the collective themselves, with this Tower being present here. It's time for change, and that's what, you know, 2026 is all about. It's the flipping, if you will, of the power structure. Those who've been in power for too long, those corrupt individuals that we've seen, slowly, things that have been done in secret are coming out, and we're seeing that more and more. It's the same thing on an individual scale. For those who have been working against us, you know, in the cowardly fashion they do, working in the shadows and everything else, doing their magic or having that evil eye, just the bitterness, the envy, the hatred, and all that's coming out in the open. You're going to be exposed. Since you have chosen not to try to deal with this, continue to keep everything under the cover of darkness, well, the Most High is going to make you deal with it. It's unfortunate that it comes to that. You know, it's better that you learn your own lessons, see things for what they are, and take appropriate, you know, action. But it is what it is. Now let's look at past, present, and future. For the past energy, again, we have our King of Wands, that fire individually who is, you know, basically somebody who maintains some form of social dominance, who's a leader and authority figure. You know, he's resilient, bold, original, inventive. Basically, somebody's enthusiastic and confident. And that's a fire card, by the way. It's an Aries card. And then we have a Leo card after that for the past energy. Again, the brightest one in the deck. And this is basically where everything goes well and is positive, successful. Your health, wealth, and well-being, all very, very, high levels right now. Or, even though it says the past, this might be somebody from your past who's embodied this energy, this fiery sign or what have you. And then we have the Hangman, somebody basically who's very unhappy with their situation, feeling trapped, and basically martyring themselves, or letting go of something, reversing something, somebody releasing something emotionally, somebody who's becoming acceptant of their particular situation and surroundings, somebody who's surrendering, somebody who's vulnerable, somebody who's changed their mind, and living in the moment. Okay, so that's past energy, and that's the energy of it could be the collective, or it could be somebody that's affiliated with the collective. Perhaps you had a love who was a fire sign. Perhaps you yourself are a fire sign. I am, and maybe you're looking at the past energy and you're coming to terms with it, and you're letting go the bad and accepting the lessons, learning from those lessons, applying those lessons, and moving forward. Because we see that echoed in the present with the Strength card. Again, another fiery card. Again, Leo. We're looking ahead towards new opportunities, having a sense of freedom, wanting to travel, feeling successful, prosperous, and desiring good outcomes. In fact, that's what this is telling us that we have. Somebody who's a leader, a visionary, somebody who is, or desiring greater possibilities, opportunities. Somebody basically who shows the way. That's what this is. Now, this person that's coming your way, this fiery individual, this fire sign perhaps, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, is somebody that you may be actually sharing this Ten of Cups with. Again, this is the ultimate in terms of your family and personal life, okay? Cups represents emotions. Ten of Cups represents the most you can have, and it means the happiest, basically, situation that you can find yourself in terms of, your emotional happiness with your relationships, however they may be, whether it's individually, whether it's as a family unit, your friends, all of that. Looks very, very good. And that's ended with the Two of Wands. Yet another fire. Okay? Lots and lots of fire in this reading. And again, this one talks about a new path, new travel and choices and opportunities coming your way, options, desiring change, finding and making change, personal power, finding boldness, originality, influentialness. Basically, somebody's a risk taker, somebody speaks their own mind. Okay? So, that is the present energy. Now, in the future, again, it doesn't get any better. The Ten of Pentacles, everything that you could possibly want materialistically is coming your way. So, that's awesome energy. But there's always going to be envy, jealousy, malice, and everything else. So with that great, abundance, there's also going to be those who wish to put those 10 swords in your back. There's always going to be those who want what's yours. They don't want to work for it. They'd rather try to steal it from you. And they're willing to do whatever it takes to make that a reality. So the Ten of Swords could in fact be somebody who later on, who makes a few bad decisions or whatever, ends up, you know, experiencing that with this new person coming their way, perhaps. Or perhaps their new person has gone through that Ten of Swords before coming back to you, as we see that with the Tower card. The Tower card basically talks about sudden changes, calamity, disaster, you know, something that happens suddenly and quickly and without warning, perhaps. The downfall or upheaval of something, surprise, shake-ups and crises, outbursts, anger, and someone who's being humbled, something blowing up in your face. So what that tells me is the collective is going to experience this abundance, you know, of materialistic gifts from the Most High. Also, they're going to experience, you know, and that comes, of course, with the Ten of Pentacles. Also, they're going to experience their relationship upon high with the person of their dreams. And that person also dreams of you, loves you, and desires you. And we see that with the Ten of Cups. We see that echoed with the Strength card, the happiness that is definitely coming your way this new year. But we also see that there are those out there who want the absolute worst, and what they want for you is what they themselves are going to experience. So, the Ten of Swords and the Tower card. So all I can say is that this fiery person coming your way is going to be the fulfillment of your desires, of your dreams. Somebody will be there to help and support you, somebody that you will love and support, protect. Everything that I see here is very, very positive in terms of, you know, this new love coming our way. And let's go ahead and finish off by looking at the diamond, the north, south, east, and west portions of these cards. Now, it starts off with the Strength card. You, collective, have endured all the tests, all the trials and tribulations that have been thrown at you, and you have grown from it. You are just filled with battle scars and everything else, and they are looking damn sexy right now. Okay? Because you have been deceived by many people in your life along the way. Loved ones, family members, you know, people you work with, even strangers from time to time have partaken in this, you know, level of deception and wanting to destroy you. People you've never even met, based upon gossip from other people and so on and so forth. You've done them no harm. You would ordinarily do whatever you could to help them. But because of lies and slander, you know, they partook in this. They themselves are young souls in this journey, and for whatever reason, they gave in. You know, they were people that wanted to please other people, people pleasers. And when you get enough of those put together, then you're going to have, you know, that one dominant wolf that's leading the pack, if you will, against the rest of, well, against the collective, and the detriment of those that are leading, by the way, as well. And we also see the Two of Wands, another fiery card, and again talks about your new path, new travel, new possibilities, maybe the love of your life coming your way, and maybe you met them through the internet, as we see the World Wide Web, which could be envisioned here with the, you know, globe that he has in his hand, looking into it as he awaits, you know, his new opportunities and options to come his way. You may have more than one option coming your way, okay? And we see that in finality, again, with the brightest card in the entire tarot deck, the Sun card. So what that tells me, collective, is that whatever it is that you desired, whatever good karma that you have put out there, just like with my my rune reading, Yera being the overall energy of this week. The Sun card also, and the Strength card also. Both the 10 of Cups, the 10 of Pentacles. This is what's in store for you, collective, this year. This new year, this new cycle. This one where the Most High is going to shower you with the gifts and the blessings, the rewards that you have earned through this tumultuous, previous cycle. And it could be many, many years. It could be over a decade, as it was for myself. For those of you who endured through all of this, I say that I am very, very proud of you. I mean, it may not mean much to you to hear that from me, and that's okay. But I am, and I'm sincere about that. I know the effort that it took. I know the number of tears and lonely nights and wondering why, you just didn't feel like you fit in this world. Why everybody was just so cutthroat and so desirous of seeing you fall when all you ever wanted was to lift them up. You put the efforts forward to help where they were putting so much energy into destroying, and you just didn't understand it. It doesn't matter. You went on your journey, you did it alone, and you survived, you grew, and you were victorious. And that's the name of this particular spiritual game, okay? You have grown, and you are moving up in the ladder, if you will. If you believe that there are ranking structures in the spiritual realm, you're being promoted, okay? Look at it that way. For those on the karmic side who have simply failed every single test, who have decided they just didn't have the energy to put forward into making changes in their life, but wanted to devote all of their resources and energy to destroying you, who was trying to do this, well, they served their part, in your journey. They did help you, so in a way, you should thank them. Of course, they didn't knowingly do that. They were just a part of this dualistic world that we live in, where you got to have one to understand and to be able to utilize or grow into the other, male, female, light, dark, hot, cold. I mean, you can use almost any type of extreme to describe the dualism that, describes the yin and yang of Taoism, and that we see echoed so often in science as well. Laws of thermodynamics in particular, which, I used to teach in my classes, and it talks about how everything works together to bring balance, So, there you have it. Wonderful year ahead for the collective. And don't forget to pray for, of course, those who have chosen the dark side, so to speak. They're never going to prosper. And unfortunately, some of their falls are going to be so great that they're not going to make it into perhaps this next cycle. So, have a empathetic heart towards them. You've done well. This is no time to, to fall back, if you will, into your animalistic wants, needs, your egoistic desire for revenge, and all of that kind of stuff. There's a time for all things, all things. The Bible itself speaks of that. But we need to be slow to anger and quick to forgive, And I don't mean to preach, so I'll just leave it at that. And again, I'm proud of you, and thank God that this cycle is almost over. And with that, stay victorious, of course, and someday we'll all meet again in Valhalla. Take care.